Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I on time for once, so that's wonderful. We've had the most amazing weather the last few days, but it's been really hot. So I think some New Englanders will probably find it just a little bit too hot for their tastes, but I have kind of enjoyed some of the hot weather. But of course, we have air conditioning, so I can't really complain. The last few weeks, we've had turtles come up from the river and lay eggs in our yard, and I caught one of them recently. So if you click over to my blog later, you will see that I posted a photo of the little turtle that came up. And it was just, I was working in my studio looking out towards the river, and there was a turtle laying eggs, and it was just wonderful. I just love nature, I love animals, and so that was so fun. So they say about 2 months from now is when the babies will start to emerge. So I'm gonna have to really watch for it because I sadly some of those little guys, they get run over, and that makes me so sad. But last year, when the little turtle babies came out, my husband and I, we came across one in the morning, and he was pretty far from the river. He was, I don't know, probably a block or two away. So I grabbed the little guy, poor little guy. He was probably scared to death. But I know how to pick up the little ones with on their shell. Sorry, I have there's someone cleaning off the stuff off our roof today, so it might be a little loud for a second. Anyway, we grabbed the turtle, and we walked to the river, and I put him on the edge, and I waited, and he he or she, I don't know, kind of waited a few seconds and then went right into the river. So I always love to, if I can, help them if they're far from the river, help turn them the right way and make sure that they get in there. So that's always a really great thing. So why am I talking about turtles today? Because I have used the Turtle Friends bundle on my card today. So I'll be sharing my card in just a moment. And you know what I didn't do is I didn't pull up today's cards on my screen before the video. So let me just pull them up. So I want to share with you, let me make this a little smaller. This is today's card that we are using for Casing Tuesday. Now you might look at it, and I looked at it and said, what am I going to do with that? Well, you know what? Use this particular card. Those are little strips going across the main piece. And then you can anchor on the left side whatever you want. You want a flower? Put a flower. We have so many different flowers. Sorry. I think in a second we will be good with the people that are clearing out or doing our landscaping today. A flower, a little animal, whatever you want, anchor that over on the left. So this is not a hard card. So let me just show you what the sketch looks like. Let me pull that up too. Just 1 second. I should have done this beforehand, but I always forget one thing, right? Okay, there's the sketch. So here are approximately the little strip lengths. I went a little smaller. I went like 1/2 inch and 5/8 of an inch. And then that background piece can be a doily, or it can be a piece of whisper white or whatever. So those are the basic dimensions for those. Let me come back to you. So that will help you if you're trying to create the card, and if you want to join our group and share your card with us, I hope you will. The link to join Casing Tuesday is down below, and each week we post the card that we are going to be giving a makeover to, and then we all jump in and we share our card that we made, our makeover card. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to share. You can lurk, you can comment. We love getting comments on our cards. So if you just enjoy watching what we do, please comment. That would put smiles on people's faces for their work to make the card and everything. So definitely do that. And we love to have you on there. It's a really great exercise if you're an advanced stamper, and it really helps you out if you are a new stamper because you've got a sketch and a sample to go on to build your card from. So I see you have a bunch of you on here. I will say hello to you afterwards. I want to jump right into the card today, and let's go over to my other camera and let's have a look here. Here is my card. So cute, right? I love this little turtle bundle. I just arrived last week, so I was kind of excited to get to use it on a card, and I thought, isn't it perfect? I'm using that doily. I am a little bit shy about doilies. I am not a big doily user, but if someone can show me where they put it on their card, I can copy it. And so that's what I did. Those strips are kind of the same as in the original card. And then instead of pansies, I put the little turtle. It's just easy and perfect. So let me show you how I made this card. And here's the bundle. And when you buy these two, the Turtle and Friends stamp set and the Turtle Punch together, you can save 10%. So I always recommend, getting both of them at the same time. And really, you will want to get both of them together because you want to stamp the turtle and then punch it out. It just looks so good, so cute. I love it. All right. So how did I do my little turtle? So this is one of our new in colors. It's called Soft Succulent. And I'm going to use one of our new in color inks, which is Evening Evergreen. So there's two new in colors that are greens. So I use the lighter color for the cardstock and the darker green for the ink pad. And when I was practicing, I just got the stamp set. When I was practicing how to put this turtle together, we've got the turtle outline and the turtle shell. I found that it was a little easier if I stamped the shell first and then used the outline to nest around it. So when you get a new stamp that's a two-step like that, practice on some computer paper, some scrap paper first, and then I'm going to put this down here. So I'm going to stamp my shell first, like that, and then I'm going to come here with my outline, and I'm going to just kind of hover around. You can kind of see a little bit of a white edge right around the shell, and there it is. Pretty easy to do it that way. You can do it the other way too, but it's just a little easier to see if you do it that way. And then we'll grab the punch and just line it up. Take a second to get it right, and then give it a little punch. So you might be looking at, there's these little holes, these little guys on the punch. That is if you're going to do like a punch art turtle. So you would punch this guy out, and then you could punch these out, and those would be eyes. So that's what I've heard that they're for. I haven't done that yet, so but that's kind of what you can do. But look how easy that is if you just stamp and punch it. Like that took less than a minute to create a little turtle that now I can put on a project. All right. Let me keep this ink pad out right here because guess what? I'm going to stamp the greeting. So what I did is I just cut a strip of basic white. This is 5/8 of an inch wide, and I'm going to, this is a really, really long strip, longer than I need. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my greeting on here. And I just have my card here as reference. I'm stamping the greeting about 1/2 inch from the end right here. And I think I can put my ink pad away now. And then I've got a strip, 2 strips actually, of the 2021-2023 in color paper. And when you cut paper and you use it, do you ever get these little strips left over, like you have these sitting there? Well, isn't this a great way to use up those little tiny pieces that you didn't use otherwise? So I just left these at the 6-inch length. This strip right here in Soft Succulent is 5/8 of an inch wide, and the other one, it's called Fresh Freesia, is 1/2 an inch wide. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my Tombow and I'm gonna put a little bit of Tombow down here at the bottom of my greeting. And I'm going to give this about, 1/8 of an inch on the side here, and I'm just going to line this up, make sure it's straight on here, and just press it down, and I shift it a little bit, make sure it's straight. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow right here on this one. And I'm going to line this one up just a little bit from the white one. So I've got them staggered a bit. The one in the sample is a little bit different, the stagger, but this is what I used for mine. So I just wanted to kind of stagger them just a little bit differently. So I've got the ends of these strips, which I'm going to cut off afterwards. They kind of just look like they're hanging out right now. So we'll fix that in just a moment. All right, so let's build our card now. So we'll need a card base, and this one, I'm using Sahara Sand. It's a nice neutral light tan color. 8.5 by 5.5 and scored in half at the 4 1/4 inch mark. And then I'm going to take my nemesis, the square doily. I have trouble using doilies, but I do have them on hand just to try and make peace with them. They are hard for me to use, but they work perfectly on this card. So if you already have a design for your doilies, then don't hesitate to buy them. So doilies, these are vellum doilies, so adhesive from vellum tends to show through. But I'm going to pick a point right here where I'm going to put adhesive, because I know I'm going to have this right on top of it. So I'm going to take a piece of tear tape and just tear off a piece a couple inches wide. And I know that I want to put it like somewhere around here. Okay, that's where my doily is going to adhere to. Tear off the double-sided backing. And then I put the doily about 1/4 inch from the left and about 1/2 an inch from the bottom. And it's not going to matter. I can actually feel the adhesive through my fingers. It's not going to matter because it's going to be covered. Then I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to take my pencil right here and just make a little mark. Okay, so now I know where I can cut off this piece to make it level with the side. So I'll take my paper trimmer and just line this up and cut it off. And now those little pieces are going in the garbage, and now I have a nice level piece on here. And now I know I can put adhesive all on the back of here So now it won't be floppy because I didn't put like full adhesive on here. It's gonna adhere nicely. And then I'll put this across right here. Level it up with the side. Make sure it's not crooked. Okay. So it's starting to come together, and look, the doily doesn't look bad at all. Put that aside, and I'm going to take some dimensionals, and I've got both sizes of dimensionals. I'll put one on the back of the head and a few right here, and then I'm going to use the mini dimensionals on the legs because they're a little smaller. So that's what it looks like. And you could use less dimensionals if you wanted to. I just really wanted to fully support this little guy because I'm going to be mailing him, and I just didn't want it to get squished in the mail. All right. Okay, so then I'm just going to anchor my turtle. You can decide where you want your turtle. I'm going to anchor him on the soft succulent, him or her. I don't know. We don't know. It could be a her. Just can't tell with stamped turtles, can we? And then finally, and I haven't used these yet on a card until this card because they were on back order. Look at these sparkly, beautiful 2021-2023 in color jewels. Okay, so they have all the new in colors on them. They're so pretty and sparkly. So I'm just going to take some of these and add them to my card. Just to give it a little bling. And these little guys, they really catch the light, so it's kind of cool. It's so pretty, right? Love them, sparkly, sparkly. Okay. So that was how I created the card. And then if you want to, like, you can always stamp on the inside of your card. So for the inside of the card, I just used a piece of basic white, and this one measures 5 inches by 3.5 inches. And I'll just show you what I did. I used that small little turtle stamped on the inside, and now I have a nice little place to write. This strip measures 1/2 inch by 5 inches, and I just used another scrap piece of the designer series paper. Really, it doesn't matter what color I chose. I could have used the fresh freesia or another color, but it just kind of anchors the bottom of the card. And you know, this kind of sets our cards apart from the store-bought ones because we can personalize and customize our stamping on the inside. And you know, don't forget also to stamp on our envelopes. Let me grab envelopes. So Stampin' Up sells envelopes, and I don't often talk about them, but we are using a half sheet of cardstock folded in half. So we need specific envelopes for those, and these are the basic white medium envelopes. And you can decorate these up with your stamping if you want to. Sometimes what people do is they take a piece of the paper, right, like whatever paper it is, and you can take this and you can trace your envelope back on here, and then you can adhere it to the flap. I've got a pencil here too. Let's see if we can do that. So I'm just going to trace here. I picked a really dark color. Wonder if I'm going to be able to see that, but you can kind of just trace on here. Let's see. Let's see if I have skills to see where I'm cutting. So I'm just going to cut along here. Another great way to use some of your bigger scraps, I made some cards earlier, and I had these little pieces left over, right? And it's kind of sad if you never use them up. So that's one way to use them up. So now I can take this piece and decide, do I like that side or the other side? I think I'm going to use the other side. And decorate these up. And I left a link for this from the medium envelopes. I left a link at the bottom of my supply list on my blog because I always forget to mention that we actually do sell envelopes. Yay, right? So now that's the back flap of an envelope. It's a lot nicer than some of the other envelopes you might receive in the mail. Look, and I can even trim this off. Maybe that would have been a better idea. Do it a better way. Should have glued the piece on and then just come around and trimmed it off on this side. That would have been really smart, right? Okay. So there's the back of the envelope, and then, you know, the front of the envelope looks rather sad, doesn't it? So why don't we add a little turtle in the corner here, because otherwise it's just sad. This is one of the baby turtles. This one can't be punched with that bigger punch, but you could probably hand cut these if you want to have a little one. So there we have a little turtle down at the bottom. And now, of course, remember, you're going to have your address, your return address, your address, and a stamp. So you could do a line of turtles down here at the bottom, but generally I like to put a little stamp down in the corner, and then it just kind of a little happy little thing for your stamping. So it's a simple card today, but I think it's still very cute, don't you? And I can't wait to see what you do with this layout. It's great for using up strips. I showed you how to use the little strips. Then you can use bigger scraps over on the back of your envelope, right? And so it's a great way to use up scraps, and it was fairly easy, right? Just a few strips, and then just choose what you want over here on this side, like a flower. If you don't have doilies, then think about like maybe a piece of vellum, just a square of vellum or a square of Whisper White would work back there too, to kind of just highlight whatever you have right there. All right, I'm coming back. I am back. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to talk to you now. Now, of course, you know, on my blog, if you order from me, you always get a free tutorial with your order. Your order just needs to be at least $15. That's not a big order. This month I have a new tutorial on my blog that you can choose. It's my little Hershey's cap, a sports cap tutorial. So that's my latest one. And if you order at least $50 with me, I'm going to send you a half pack of the ombre specialty paper in July. So don't forget that. Okay, so let me go and see who's joined me today. Good morning, Connie from Denmark. Oh, hello, Dee. I'm happy to see you too. And Ellie from New York, and Kathy, you're joining me this morning. That's awesome. Dee has a comment about those lazies. Are those the laser doilies in the background? That would be great a use for them. Yes, they are laser cuts, so you don't have to die cut them. They come in a little pack. Where's my little pack? I put them back in here. They come in a little pack. They're the square vellum doilies. They're on my supply list if you need the item number. They're right there, 152484. And they just add like a little bit of, you know, a subtle background. And like I said, I'm not a good doily person. I don't use doilies a whole lot. I have a pack of these on hand just in case I get inspired. But I always forget to use them. That's why I love Casing Tuesday, because it reminds me of supplies that I forgot about that I have that I can use. And I really love the way that it can anchor your design today. So you can put it in the background, it's subtle, it's not going to compete with your focal point, but then you can put whatever you want on top of it, an animal, a flower, I don't know, a person, whatever you want to anchor that corner, maybe a big embellishment or something, I don't know. But those work really well. Good morning, Amy from Washington, and Mary. Mary loves turtles. I'm glad. I love turtles too. Love to rescue them. Dee says that turtle is so very cute. I love the fresh freesia accent at the bottom. So, you know, it was on the original card right there. That bottom strip was fresh freesia. So look how much I copied that card, that original card. I'm going to hold up my card. So 1, 2, 3. So you can see that fresh freesia popped back down at the bottom. So I actually copied that from the original card. I copied the green stripe. So I copied a lot about the card, but look, there's my card and there's the other card. They don't look alike. They don't, but they're the same card. Basically, right? So it's fun to see how you can take all of those elements of a card and create a completely different card, right? So very cool. And hello, Alicia. Thank you. I'm so glad that you like the cards too. I have today, go ahead, go pop over to Casing Tuesday. Make sure you're already on there if you're not already on there, and post your card if you want to. And on Friday, I'm going to have a new tutorial for you with a project sheet. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. I've got a few fancy foil cards that I've been playing with on the back burner. So I always have designs kind of like in various stages of design in my brain, because I will see something and I'll think, oh, I should do that, and I'll play with it and see if I can make it, and then I put it away, and sometimes I forget about it for a year or two or whatever, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot about this design that I've half created. And so I always have designs on the back burner. So until Wednesday or Thursday, I don't really decide what I'm going to do. But it's going to be fabulous. So if you love seeing what pops into my brain for Fridays, you can join me live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And then I always post the videos back over on my blog, so you can kind of find our reference area and be able to access everything from over there. Mary says, we have turtles laying eggs in our yard every year. Unfortunately, the raccoons dig up the eggs. Yes, I did a little bit of reading once I saw that turtle like laying eggs right in front of me, and people try and do different things to protect the eggs. I didn't have those materials on hand, so I'm gonna kind of watch them. There are so many things that can destroy turtle eggs. It's amazing that turtles ever survive, because the ants can get them, raccoons, like anything that eats eggs will go after those little turtle eggs. So we'll see. I hope we see some turtles emerge, and if not, I hope I'll see one that I can help rescue. Maybe I hope I don't see one, because that will mean that they're safe. But if I ever see a turtle like trying to cross the road, I'll either help it to the other side, help it in the direction that it's going, or I'll wait and make sure I flag cars so that they don't hit the turtle. I hate seeing roadkill. It's just I don't like little animals that get run over. It makes my heart sad. So I do try and save them. And even undesirable critters like snakes and stuff like that. A lot of people don't like snakes, but you know, they are all part of the ecosystem. You know, the snakes have a purpose too. So, you know, if a lot of snakes are just like harmless snakes. They won't even hurt you, but they're going to keep down your population of mice and all of that. So we need them too. So I always, you know, I haven't seen a lot of snakes here, but I would never kill one intentionally because they all have a little purpose in the little ecosystem. So I'm very, very conscious of that, especially backing onto a river. I want to make sure that we keep everything healthy. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. I hope if you are having a hot day that you have air conditioning so you can stay cool. And I just wish you a great week until I see you on Friday again. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.